them like in between after the first map, even after they lost, and Forrest had a really good positive vibe to him still. He was joking with me. I said, "Are you going to take this map?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, of course." And they came out and did it. And I think that bodes really well for a team like NIP. And I could see them coming out right now and upsetting Fnatic on one of their favorite maps.
The last time these two teams met on this map, it was in Aspen. And NIP won it by 16 rounds to 14.
And I would say that's saying a lot, because that was actually, one of Fnatic's big slumps. So the fact that it was that close, it could be scary. Though NIP have been playing even better since, so you don't really know. JW is looking for opening kill. Pronax in the middle, having a fight with GetRight and brings him down to 8 health. But the bomb up here from NIP, up in the apartments, it looks like it's going to be an A push coming out from the terrorist side.
Yeah, it looks like a 2-2, maybe 3 halls, 2 lane.
They're going really quick here, but they're getting shot down. Great start from JW. Flusher as well. They finally bring down one player, but Pronax is there. That's a perfect start from Fnatic. Very well played on JW. Now, it may not seem like a lot, but when that many people run out of apps, Sean, try and talk to us. How difficult is it actually to stop them?
Well, typically it's insanely hard to stop something like that, because what ends up happening is the first guy gets by you and you may kill the second guy, but the trade kill is so fast, the guys get pit and overwhelm the A bomb site. But what you saw just now in that pistol round was completely different. You saw JW peek the window, get a lot of early information on A. They basically had the perfect setup for that hit because of how JW peeked ult and took that damage into GetRight.
Olofmeister on screen. This is going to be potentially a push up the catwalk. Olofmeister and Crims on B. Is there a more fearful combo on this map?
No, not at all. Especially with that car smoke that they're most known for. Crims playing this first orange angle, Olof playing the spawn angle. They're just masterful at these two spots.
NIP, Eden invested into a Molotov this round, which is actually something that we saw the Brazilian team do as well. Even in Ecos, they would buy 3, I think, which was really, really overpowering. Can be really hard to stop. And then they had some Tech 9s as well. And we'll see. GetRight, Molotov in the back here, so no one can stand in that back side corner there. Olofmeister already being shot at a little bit. NIP just trying to see if they can rush here before the rotation gets in. Crims missing the shot, he goes down to Alu. And Olofmeister trying to fall back. Flusher with a good kill on 4. It's very important that they stabilize here. And Flusher's going ham with the P90, getting up 2 kills. Olofmeister to take Freiburg. It's back and forth, and JW falls, and I'm not sure how. Pronax, can he do the damage here? The bomb is ticking away. They got to be careful. Olofmeister's very nearly dead. And oh, Alu, what a shot. He gets the triple kill, and now it's all on Olofmeister. Charging in, picks up 1. And now 1 grenade out. Olof fakes it here, and Alu gets the kill, and it's a quad in the follow-up round. NIP steal it back.
What an individual performance right there by Alu, getting that kill on spawn, saving the round for NIP with that frag. Just keeping his composure like that, that's amazing.
Stuart, you asked us in the previous map, did Alu announce himself to the world stage just now? I think it's quite a firm answer here.
I think we're seeing a boy become a man on this stage.
And here's Fnatic with that 3rd round rebuy that I talked about. They're not afraid to buy up right here with hardly anything against rifles. NIP has a MAC-10 still. This could be scary for NIP.
Was that a cheap give of Exist Life there? Or should they have been expecting that push?
They probably should have, because what Fnatic really likes doing on Inferno when they have low money is exactly what you saw. They like to just rush banana and take those fights. It's something that they didn't start doing up until maybe a couple months ago, but I've noticed that when they have low money, they're not afraid to take that fight. And they do it with very little nades. It's just an aim battle at that point. And then they take back control and back off, play 4A.
So their weapon superiority, but a man down. How do they play out the rest of this round?
They're just trying to wait out the smokes right now and just really force Fnatic into a default setup. Because right now Fnatic's so mobile around the map, using smokes to their advantage. It's one of the best attributes to their CT and Inferno game, is the fact that they're rotating around because of the smokes are up in certain places.
Well, Molotov's being used inside, and actually Fnatic have to move because of them. There's Olofmeister going down, JW with a P90, good double kill, grenade on through, tags GetRight a lot, and JW can't get the 3rd kill, so close though with the P90. Flusher, waiting over here, P215 hand, gonna take out Alu easily, but he does go down eventually. Pronax will finish it. A solid round, I think, from Fnatic, and in spite of NIP having so many grenades, I actually initially thought They purchased those Molotovs to clear all the corners, but they used them for the B push instead.
Yeah, they got thrown off a little bit, I think, when they went down that man, and unfortunately for them, they lost the P90. And that's typically not that bad of a thing, but when JW picks up the P90, that's like the worst thing possible. Guy's gonna get a 2K every time with that gun.
2-1 Fnatic lead in map 3 of the grand final. It's JW who will see action first as Alu comes racing around that corner and delivers a headshot with a smile.
It's not a fight that JW will normally lose. I say he wins it 80% of the time. He's so good, even with an AWP, but especially with the Mag 7 as well.
JW is the king of the Mag 7. He's just always one Mag 7ing people at honestly mid-ranges too.
NIP just feeling out their CT opponents to see what comes post-death of JW. Olofmeister and Crim's home at B. May even put up a little welcome mat, because here will come this next push. It's Forrest to lead the charge. First shot is a headshot onto Crims. Olofmeister then with 2 of his own before going down to the hands of Exist. 3 on 2, bomb going down, and Flusher and Pronex to have to retake this B site.
Well, it's not going to be easy, but they do have a kit. The sad thing is for them, they have no grenades. And I'm wondering if they know how low NIP are on health, because if they did, they might be able to just group up and simply run as a team and outgun them. Freiburg in a good position here with the AK. Flusher walking right into that one. And Freiburg will pick it up here. Fnatic, it's back and forth in the early rounds, and generally when that happens, it's going to heavily favor the terrorist side. So much more expensive playing CT side, and it'll be really rough for them, I think, from here on out. Exist to take down Pronex. No rifles saved, whereas NIP survive barely with 2 members alive. And the Fnatic team, Sean, what do you think? Are they going to force up one more time?
It would be hard to call a force buy right now in this round if I were the in-game leader of Fnatic, but I mean, they've been known to do kind of crazy plays like that in the past. Here it is. They're gonna force buy. This could put them in a really bad spot. And something really important to note right now in the game is Crims is having a hard time at B, and that's never something that happens on their CT Inferno. So it's really important to see Crims really find his own in B right now, get back to the form that we know he can be, and kind of be able to stop these nip hits that are coming towards the B bomb site. And perhaps that is because JW died early in halls and the smoke timings were off a little bit.
Do you think that's the reason why they've moved him over here, or is it just because of the pistol now that they feel a little bit better having Olofmeister with the Mag 7 and B?
Yeah, it's really weird. I'm not sure why they elected to put Flusha in B, considering he has like really the same equipment as Crims. Maybe that's just kind of like a decision Crims wanted to make. Like he couldn't get anything going. Hey, I'm gonna play Wrap this round. Just try to get a frag or 2.
Will be a B push. Freiburg has gone a long way up, and Olofmeister will be the man to see him. Pronex is going to sense this, and he and Crims will move over to B to join the fun. Olofmeister and that Max 7 are going to go real close as they use as a smoke to gain positioning, and we'll wait to see some feet on the other side. Has seen nothing thus far as NIP are knocking on the door. First opportunity, he waits, then he takes his chance. It was get right on the other end of it, and Olofmeister doing a heck of a lot of damage in there. Freiburg and Alu get NIP some frags on the board, but Crims has Freiburg, and it's Alu 1 on 2 against Pronex, and I was going to say Crims, but no more. Pronex wins the round for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's a really interesting call actually right there by NIP to like to throw that like wall of smokes at the B bomb site. They had to know that Fnatic's economy was extremely low. They obviously sensed that Fnatic bought that round, because you wouldn't run a strat like that knowing that Fnatic would be on like a full eco. So NIP knew that Fnatic stress bought with those like $2,000 1.5 buys, and they elected to throw the wall of smoke in the B site, which is kind of weird considering they also threw Molotovs to clear out half the angles.
Look at the buy here from NIP. They are not afraid to force up in return, which involves Alu with the AW. There's a casual eco-op coming out here, and Olofmeister will open up on Get Right. Alu charging up into the middle. He picks up that kill on Pronex, but they did lose Freiburg in the meantime. If this AWP really works to secure them the round, it's almost a miracle.
Alu So just looking for someone to love in that A site. JW is the man playing hard to get, as Crims will find existence. Fnatic are 4-on-1 up here against Alu, who has witnessed many a headline today, but won't be writing one now. 4-2 Fnatic.
And this is the point in the match where Fnatic's economy should be able to stable out. They can finally breathe. NIP will ultimately have to finally eco around and kind of forfeit the economy game early match right now to Fnatic, and basically hope to grind out some later rounds.
Now, I've asked you both in each map to position this for the new viewers who come into Counter-Strike as we, again, come close to that 800,000 mark. On Inferno, talk to us about the map. Who will be happier at what score and why?
I think Fnatic is honestly looking for about a 10 or 11 round half right here. NIP, honestly, they can be shaky on their CT side, but they have had some positional changes. I know that kind of recently. So I would say NIP is looking for about 5 to 6 rounds. Fnatic is looking for about 10 to 11. So
yeah, I'm in the same area without a doubt. I think Fnatic, I don't want to say they should be lucky because they really fought hard for it, but it could have been such a bad half for them already if they didn't win that second force-up that they had. So credit them for doing it, but now they're looking to close it out if they can. I mean, 13 to win out of the question. Fnatic are a really strong team playing CT side, and they're only just gearing up. It seems like Flusher, free there, does take down Forest, but get right, alone. He goes down to Pronex. Not much that he could have done.
What
So
a
5-2.
Flusher right there.
Now, we have seen some spectacular Counter-Strike thus far. It is 5-2 Fnatic, who defeated Virtus Pro to get here into the grand final. NIP took down the French side, Envy to get there. Fnatic have dropped but their first map in the tournament on their second map in the final here. They are the form side, they are the favorites. Why?
They're the favorites because of just how well they can abuse rotations with these nades they use. They smoke bottom banana, they Molotov the ramp, they instantly have bottom banana control. They're going to rotate one all the way back to A. They still have 2 in banana though, knowing that NIP might like to come through that smoke more than most teams. I think typically you would see Fnatic leave only 1 in banana, probably because JW is in the boiler with an AWP actually. He can get a lot of information and angles like that. Another showcase why they're so good on this map.
And sometimes we do refer to some players as being specialist players. I definitely say JW is that up in the apartments with all max 7. It's really scary, really hard to deal with. It's not like NIP don't know that he could have been there, but he's just that good at doing it. On Nuke for the same player, it would have been hot. You see JW playing that hot and being really hard to deal with. And now he's falling back towards the car, just waiting for it. Still 45 seconds, and it's going to be hard for NIP to make a breakthrough. They need a clean laser tag, and when you're a man down, generally going B is a little bit easier, so that's what NIP are doing.
It will be JW just trying to chase out Exist so he can't anchor the attack, and that's exactly what he's done. The remaining 2 are Alu and Freiburg, who will go up against Olofmeister and Flusher in B, and Olofmeister just calmly tucks around the corner and says, "No sir, bomb planted there."
Great job hiding right there, forcing out the second guy in that NIP situation where the time was so low. Olofmeister find out where both guys are, single them off, take them both out.
Really like to see NIP try and go for some more set strats on towards the A-bomb side. We've seen a couple of Fnatic players already playing up on the balcony, going out of apartments. That spot can be smoked off, so can Pit. And if JW's playing closer than that, so he's in front of the smokes, if there are enough people coming around the corner, they will kill him. And then fight for the after plant instead. I feel like there's an opening here for NIP to make it through. Obviously this round going to be playing heavy off banana, and look at Freiburg, the king of banana, takes down Olofmeister and Crims. That's an opening if I've ever seen one. Pronex counter flash out, but look at NIP, they're playing it smartly, trying to make sure they don't rush into anything, but they're also getting sandwiched in, and they will actually kill off JW coming up from behind. What a victory. Get right, you can't really easily outwork him.
Massive play by Get Right there to get that frag. It's changed the complexity of the round. They've rotated all the way over towards A, where they will face off against Flusher 4-on-1 until Pronex can join the fun, and he's worried about Get Right. That's why he can't get in there quick enough. No one knows where Get Right might be in a situation like this, and with that bomb planted, Flusher and Pronex are reduced to having to allow NIP this round, and they will get their third.
You told us earlier, Sean, that JW is one of those really special players that will play a little bit crazily. How often will you see someone try and flank a team with an AWP? Let's say he actually got behind them and got a kill. He'd have to, take a second to get the next one. It's not a weapon you can spray down 3 people with. Very classic JW.
Yeah, he's one of the only players in the world that would make that push down middle with an AWP like that. Just, even if there's anyone anywhere, like alt mid, halls, boiler area, he would get caught out and just caught in the middle. But JW is just so quick to react to those kind of players that those hectic situations favor him. But something that was really confusing to me at the start of that round was I couldn't wrap my head around why Crims and Olaf aren't buying Molotovs. They have a set economy. Why are they not playing their default setup that just has won them so many tournaments? And then I started to think about what NIP does. They always do this default where they send Freiburg solo in Banana. But NIP countered that, knowing that Fnatic is pushing now against them by sending 3 or 4 guys just rushing into Banana. They know that Crims is uncomfortable over there in the B-bomb site and they're abusing it.
So look at this rush all the way up quad. They're going to get in here all the time. They did pick up 1 kill on Freiburg. They're not really sure. There's so many flashes going in that they can't really see where the Fnatic players are just yet. The Flush is in a good position here inside the site to try and lock them down. And now that NIP have slowed down, Fnatic are rotating in, and I think actually that's the reason why NIP decide, let's just fall back for a moment. We got a little bit of a rotation coming out of Fnatic, but they need an entry frag on that terrorist side.
Textbook display of what nades can do to a rush. NIP were in touching distance of the bomb site, but could go no further because they could see nothing and they were being rained down upon.
That is very true, and I'm really liking the change of pace right now from NIP. They're typically seen as like a very slow-paced, methodical default team on Inferno, where they try to get forced out of the boiler, lurk around brackets. If he gets a couple kills, they'll still go B because the rotations are forced towards A. This is much different than the standard NIP we've seen in past tournaments.
Sensing the rotation out of A, JW made his way all over to B, and now we'll go back. Here we go, the push is alive and well at A, which Olafmeister quickly sees to. Alu's been dropped as well, and we're left with just 2 players for Fnatic to find at this moment in time. And that is now down to 1. Get Right out, has got himself the kill on JW, but will be hounded down until the clock runs out.
So the one thing that I had in mind earlier when I said they could have used smokes to get in was almost to prevent what just happened. Is I wanted them to try and smoke off that corridor that they came inside the bomb site where all the flashes came through. If they'd had just a single smoke and NIP just ignored it and put the bomb down anyway, and then fought for the after plant. I feel like NIP have a chance to get to just the default plant just by using 3 smokes essentially.
Yeah, that round could have gone completely different. Honestly, they took mid fairly well, even through that smoke. They just couldn't get that entry frag, I guess, and they had to back off.
So 7-3. Something of an eco round for NIP. On the Fnatic side, they'll be looking at this as everything going to plan. The scoreboard's in their favor. They could close this out with a big number. On the NIP side, they'll be worried if they can't get 1 or 2 more. But from that position, in this final, are you looking to a player to single-handedly take control of the scoreboard for you? And if so, who's that going to be?
Honestly, if you're NIP at this point, I think Freiburg has to try and find some good entry frags. That's what he's there for, and especially on Inferno, he's an absolute god at it. But Olafmeister, look at this. Triple kill, really not afraid of anything. It's not a lot of equipment on NIP's side, but Fnatic are doing a great job holding on to their economy. But I think it's on Freiburg to open up some of these, either the A or B bomb site.
I agree 100% with Anders. A lot of this match right now is going to lie in the hands of Freiburg and Banana, and Forrest lurking the boiler too. You see Forrest right now having a tough time finding entries in the middle. If he starts opening up rounds in the middle, this match could swing back in NIP's favor.
Well, we have 3 rounds with which to alter the story. If you're a Fnatic fan, however, you'll be beginning to build a wry smile.
Yeah, one of the hardest working teams, Fnatic. Definitely. It's not coincidence that they've ended up here.
And here's Fnatic again doing this banana control where they're looking for fights here. And the reason being is because they know Freiburg typically enters banana all by himself.
The Fnatic fans have found their voice in the audience. It's been almost an exclusively NIP chant today, but no more.
Something else to look for here, if you want to think a little bit about how well Fnatic are playing in terms of their grenades, is look at the clock and look how many they've got left. So we're just coming up on 50 seconds, still 2 smokes, just using 1 and 3 Molotov. That's an enormous amount. That means Fnatic have really saved their smokes at this point in the game, and it's going to be hard for NIP to run anywhere. Nice pickup on Forest. If they go back B now, there are 2 more players waiting. Anywhere they go, they're going to run into so many grenades, and now 35 seconds. It's one of the key reasons why Fnatic are as good as they are on this map, but there it comes. Big opening here as Exist and Alu will pick up 2 players. If they can kill Pronax, this could really happen. Pronax spraying, missing a lot, and he's going to go down to get right. It's a 2v2, and they're in the site. Could they get the bomb down? Just 20 seconds. Molotov to buy time, and again, Fnatic, they could use these grenades that they saved all along to try and get the retake in. Get right jumping up here, and the bomb is planted in a great position for him. Get it right. It goes down, and now it's on Alu, trapped in the corner, caged in here with just an AWP. This is definitely Fnatic trying to take. It's going to be a miracle if he can make it out. He's got 9 health. If they just want to look at him, he's going to go down, and Crims jumping and picking up a kill there. Good retake from Fnatic.
Yeah, great retake from Fnatic right there. Crims offing that guy in the halls. The awareness to know that only 1 entered the site. Maybe got a little bit of a ghost comm there from Pronax after he dies. You get that maybe 5 or so seconds where you can kind of watch people move on your screen. I'm sure Pronax maybe told him that 1 gravitated towards the halls. Crims singles that guy out. Great job sticking together, swing peeking in backside.
So match paused. This time it's NIP who'll be wanting to make sure that they get something more out of this half, because just 3 is nowhere near enough going into the halftime. Put all the pressure on that pistol round.
So I have two strats that are my favorite on this one. I was talking about just before we got into the game. One of them is a really explosive play that involves having a bunch of people up in A hallways and putting them out into the pit, more so that even if there's someone holding there, especially now that the M4A1 is so popular, you can't actually kill all of them. There's too many people raining in. Now, that could definitely be a thing, especially if they go for Tech 9 armor, considering their economy. The other thing that actually nobody in this tournament has spent a lot of time doing, it's gone a little bit out of fashion, is the B-split push going through Archway into the B-bomb site. Because Fnatic are so good, we talked about this, the combination of Crims and Olaf over there, if you try and run through without diverting their attention, it could get really rough. So if they can somehow make it into Archway, I'd like to see that as well.
I agree, and using the banana early round is something that NIP really needs to start doing more of. It was pretty successful for him that round that Freiburg got the 2 entries, and the reason being is because Fnatic's trying to kind of counter them, and they're doing it round after round after round, and it's basically allowing them to save grenades for much longer than they typically would. Because typically Fnatic would almost instantly smoke the car, they'd be down a smoke, and then around like probably 30 to 20 seconds, they'd have no more smokes at B. You may have 1 Molotov left, but the way they're pushing the front car with no nades, they're able to save their nades, and they could smoke out places till the end of the round. And NIP just ends up running through smokes, jumping into nades, running through Molotovs, and they just find themselves in really unfavorable situations. So it's important that NIP goes into the rest of these rounds either A, speeding up the pace towards the A-bomb site, like you mentioned, with an explosive hit, or B, taking banana control quick.
Sean, let's draw on from your role as the Cloud9 in-game leader. What will those 2 be saying?
Both leaders on each team?
Yeah.
Well, Pronax is probably quite content with how his team's been playing. They've been executing exactly the same stuff every round. Here's that triple B push again, where they're not using many nades, and then they find out they're in banana and they just start dumping stuff.
Whoa, it's been a slaughter as Flusher has helped himself to frags, and they just weren't able to get rolling, pushing up that banana walkway. And the firing squad lies in wait, Anders.
Not a lot that they can do at this point. Freiburg alone, it's a good kill coming in on Crims, and at least NIP managed to do a little bit of damage, but the Tech 9s aren't doing enough here. And Fnatic, they saw that coming. They had 3 members here, 1 more than they would maybe normally have, and it's a worthwhile investment for Fnatic, because if they don't run into that push, one of them is going to rotate back, and they'll be almost in the same position. Freiburg going to go down. Fnatic Really, really good read on their part. I mean, that's the thing when you call a timeout. The other team can obviously also spend that time talking, so you're still going to be, you're going to be up against something similar as well.
Yeah, it's not like the other team is put in 5 separate rooms during that time and they can't speak with each other. So that's something that's kind of misconstrued, I guess, with forums, that people take a timeout. Oh, he came back with such a good idea. Well, the other team's probably thinking, hey, they're probably thinking this is how they're going to counter our current setup. Let's change our current setup. So that's probably what you're seeing from both teams right now.
2 rounds left in the half. NIP need something on the board to give them a platform for the second half. If not, Fnatic will be royally happy. 2 frags on the board though. Flusher waiting to take out first Forest. Second man is Alu. Couldn't quite get there quick enough, but Get Right is on the scene. And now it's a bomb to be dropped in by Freiburg with 4 men to defend it. And this is, unless to have some divine intervention, going to be NIP's 4th round. JW is the man who offers that hope with that first frag on to exist, who left him with just 21 points of health. Krim's 81 and inching his way through the smoke, but time is against him as the bomb ticks away. He drops Get Right. JW's gone. It's all on Krims, and it's Alu who ends it. 10-4.
Yeah, and there again, you see back-to-back rounds. Exist is really thinking kind of similar thoughts. He sees Fnatic taking banana control every round. He has 2 options. Take banana control back and fight them for it, or do an explosive hit A like he just did, with Alu upping very aggressively fast in the halls, Get Right making the boiler jump instantaneously, no spamming involved typically, which is what you'd see from Get right there. He just goes up right away. 2 quick frags.
It's actually stunning that NIP've got 4 rounds with Forest only having the single kill like you were just pointing out, Stuart, because that normally we'd expect Forest to be one of the main forces on this team, so that is a little bit shocking actually. We're in the last round of this half. It is the 3rd map here as the grand final at ESL 1, and right now NIP, they desperately need that 5th round. I don't think 4 is enough. I think they need a 5th one, especially because you can't be sure you can win the pistol against Fnatic, so you need a buffer to try and get back into it if you don't. Olaf Meister, excellent kill on Freiburg there to stop the king himself, and falls back, has a Molotov, but look at the restraint here, not using it yet. He could have tried to pull it out. Panic, Exist will get the 1 kill. Olaf Meister re-peeking, and he's still got the Molotov. They're really not easy to force here. JW from behind, gonna take down Alu. AWP doesn't quite hit the shot, but they're 7 in. Great round from Fnatic. This is absolutely beautiful play here. Forest, 1v3. He's gonna get 2 kills. Now he has to try and clutch it. If he could win this round, it almost doesn't matter that he hasn't done anything for the rest of the first half. He could be excused on that account. But Pronax's position is so good. Allows Forest to get by, walks out cold as ice, and it's going to be 11-4.
1 bullet execution as he tried to put that bomb down.
Yeah, good job by Pronax right there, not overcommitting, fighting the angles in middle, letting Forest go by, thinking all those angles are clear, comes out, kills him while he's planning. It's just a lot of experience goes into making that play.
Look at Devil Walk. Looks so calm up there. He knows his team are in a driving seat. 11-4. The pressure is on that man. And it shows this is going to be a massive call for Exist. He has got to get everyone right to drag his team back into this final. Can he do it?
He most certainly can. I went into that half saying that 11 rounds, 10 rounds for Fnatic would be what they want and what they'd be happy with. I said NIP wanted 5 to 6. 4 is less than what they wanted, but 4 is still acceptable. They can definitely come back right now. They need to kick things off with a pistol win. Let's see if NIP can do this. I'm kind of curious whether they're going to elect to play like 3 in the B bomb site, or maybe even play like 4 towards A and like 1 guy spotting B. I feel like if you let Fnatic execute out the A holes in lane, it could really come back to haunt you on a pistol round. I'm really interested to see how NIP encounters this round.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we're going to have to look at how many smokes they buy as well, see if they're going to go for a more standard round chance, see if they can buy time, or if it's going to be. We've even seen some teams actually go for a bunch of grenades in pistol round, because Inferno is a map where you can sometimes land just a few grenades and do a tremendous amount of damage. On the Fnatic side, something that was really popular early in the tournament for Fnatic, and actually all throughout, was having Olaf Meister lurk up in apartments and having the rest of the team play as like a separate unit, and they'd be down towards middle middle and over towards Banana. And as soon as Olofmeister gets just a little bit of intel, as soon as he knows how many people are in A, they execute B really quickly, and it's hard to stop. So I'd expect that kind of configuration from Fnatic.
Katowice one more time, make some noise. Here we go, second half. Fnatic 11, NIP 4. We have but 15 rounds left before that trophy will be going to one very happy set of Swedes.
And so far, it's just the one grenade. So there's a bunch of armor going on here on NIP. Fnatic side, they have one smoke on Pronax and a couple of flashbangs, so see what he has got planned.
And here's that 3B setup that I was referring to that Nick could start off in. But look, Fnatic's going into that explosive Halls hit.
Get right, a little bit too soon with the grenade. He thought they were going to come rushing him down really early on, and they did slow it down for a moment. Now, NIP is pushing. I actually really love this. This is a way of saying, if you're going to be up in the apartments, they will try and get control. See if you can get some information down there, hear anyone walking. Get right to open it up. And it's JW who goes down. Now the push continues. Pronax has got one kill. They're looking for more. Get right will go down. Oh, fantastic. They're overwhelming NIP. And that will be it. Flusher with a double kill. Well executed round from Fnatic.
Perfectly executed round from Fnatic. You saw that flash from Get Right's point of view. It blinded not only him, but the other guy in the pit. It was perfectly coordinated with that lane rush to just annihilate the double pit setup. And that's exactly what they did. They just swarmed the site. First two players at A. Kind of sensed that NIP likes playing 3 people B on pistol rounds on Inferno. Good read from Fnatic.
870,000 people tuning in as Fnatic put their first hand on the trophy. It is JW who will lead that charge. We look for number 13, Forresto. The oldest man on the server in Counter-Strike years delivers a reminder of what NIP are capable of. These 8 rounds can be clawed back and more, but it will take Get Right to deliver, which he doesn't there. Olofmeister picks up.
And Pronax just spotting out assist there as well, so they've got one more read on where a player is, which is obviously important. Tough round for NIP here, 3v5, it's gonna, or 3v4, it's gonna come down to some individual skill. Freiburg can't win that one against Flusher. And Alu still making his way up. Obviously, assist here. He's got 12 bullets, but there's 4 people coming for him, and they won't be coming one at a time.
Here's assist, picking up the fragging, but dropped in the end by Olofmeister. Alu now with it all to do, 1 on 3. As he leads that charge towards Flusher, who will spot him first. First man down. The task just got that little bit easier, but he has only 57 points of health to work with and a bomb to defuse. And Crims is not in charitable fashion today. 13-4.
Excellent round by Fnatic. They just slowly and methodically waited for NIP to push. NIP typically not that aggressive actually on CT. I'm surprised that they were giving Fnatic those entry kills right there. Get Right pushing Halls, Freiburg pushing B. They were just kind of looking to get an advantage in the round, though, at that point, since frags already happened. Fnatic, great job keeping their poise, though, slowly hitting the A-bomb side as a team.
And look at this. 3 Molotovs on Fnatic, burning up the top of Banana, making sure that NIP just aren't going to be stacked up there in any way, shape, or form. Of course, the NIP team with pistols, so it feels like overkill, but Fnatic want to be thorough. They do not want to give anything to NIP. No chances taken here in the grand finals. They are about to be 10 rounds ahead of the NIP team as JW picks up a UMP kill on Forest, and then they'll fall back.
Yeah, and the reason they fell back right there is because they know Forrest is the A player. So when you kill Forrest in the B bomb site, you're almost certainly going to run into 2 other guys, possibly even a 4-man stack. So really smart play by Fnatic right here to fall back. They sensed the stack, left the bomb site immediately.
It is Alu who will face up first to the incoming Fnatic team, who move Olofmeister down towards the pit, and the other 4 coming right around. Crims and Olofmeister will both pick up the frags, and the bomb site has been taken. Last 2 will make a valiant attempt to reclaim, but against 5, you don't fancy them. And this would put Nick in the last chance saloon. Fnatic would go to 14 with this.
Wait, Sis gonna go down, and much earlier in the tournament, when Natu was with us, we brought up this concept of one round at a time mentality. You can't look at the scoreboard and think we're 10 rounds behind. You have to think about one round at a time. Sean, how does that work out for a team like NIP?
NIP is probably the best in the world at doing exactly that. I've seen them make some of the craziest comebacks, just never ever breaking their boys, never changing the style of their play. They keep to what they know. They always play the exact style of CS that they practice, and they won't cater to you. On the other hand, a team like Fnatic, when they're at 14-4, they're going to make plays like this. Really aggressive, almost what we call in North America scrimmy plays, where you're just going to run through the smoke because you have so many rounds to test stuff out.
Big stuff from Forest. Flusher and Pronex down as they try to make entry in towards B, and they will be ushered away by that veteran of the game.
That kind of opening in this round, their backs against the wall. It will be a long grind back. It is definitely doable. JW missing a shot uncharacteristically. 5v3 right now, and Fnatic, I think, probably a little bit frustrated they went for that smoke to begin with, because it's such a harsh way of getting punished when you get absolutely nothing for it. Don't even really have that much information. JW trying to see if he can make the move up here. 35 seconds as a guy, and it's Alu hiding in the ninja corner. He doesn't have anyone helping him from Lil Pit just yet, but he could in a second. This combination, the crossfire, is so powerful. Alu with the one, gets the double, goes for the triple, and there it is. Alu cleaning up. And that will be the round for NIP, 14-5.
What a play right there from Alu. Just keep making sure he didn't spray for that last kill, stayed very calm, let his recoil set, bursted him right in the head. Good stuff, Alu. But something to note about why Fnatic walked through that smoke. So it's 14-4, they have economy right now built, and they have rounds to throw. So this round, they're just going to elect to save. Typically, you'd probably see Fnatic actually buy this round, but they're going to, I guess, after that last round, they're done kind of messing around and trying weird one-off strats, and they're going to go back to what probably works this next round.
If either Forest or Alu were feeling the pressure, they certainly didn't show it that last round. So from Fnatic's perspective, with the buy that they've got, what will they be trying to do? What will be a way to open up this NIP defense?
Well, Fnatic does some really cool things on these anti-ecos, and they might actually do it here because I'm seeing 3 smokes. Flusher may smoke in front of the graveyard, Pronax may smoke in the truck, and Krims may smoke the pit. And basically what they like to do is they run up lane with 3 guys, Olaf's Halls, and Flusher will wrap. But the most interesting part of the strat is Krims will run into that smoke that Flusher throws in front of the graveyard and run up the graveyard steps, and no one will know he's there. So I'm interested to see if they do something like that this round.
Well, they're gearing up for it, and they got only 30 seconds. The smokes are raining in. There's definitely one for Pit. Get right, opening up. Alu with the kill as well. They're just getting shut down. Whatever plan was in focus here for the Fnatic team, they got decimated the moment they encountered NIP.
Yeah, they just got annihilated at the lane choke point right there. NIP just slaughtered them with great headshots.
If you're just joining us, where have you been? It is 14-6 in the grand final. We are all tied up at 1 map apiece. Somehow we have broken 900,000 people watching. Welcome to Counter-Strike, ladies and gentlemen. The game is at its peak. These 2 teams are at the absolute top of their game. You could ask for no better entertainment. And Alu delivers the opening frag onto JW.
And now's the time to get your friends invited. If you have 100,000 of them, we'll break 1 million. So just get on Facebook or wherever you find your friends and let them know that this is happening. A lot of Molotovs on the CT side. Again, we talked about it with Fnatic. Saving those grenades, making sure that you buy as much time on the clock that the Fnatic team won't have time to break through. NIP are just as good at it as Fnatic are. JW is already down. Now Fnatic, they're going to have a hard time breaking through here. Krims, bit of a pop flash out. One more, just keeps going. Alu is covering from Archway. And it's going to be 45 seconds left. I think Fnatic are just on the brink of it. And there it is, a double peek into middle. Flusher will get the opening assist. Let's one by goes for the kill. Gets a double. One more kill. That's a triple kill. And Pronex goes down. It's all up to all of my stuff. And Exist wants the quad. Get right will take it away. Alu played it last time. This time it was Exist. Sean Gears. How does that work out?
What a play by Exist. He knows that Fnatic is going to come wrap. So what does he do? He sneaks in that cubby corner, has Alu play overly aggressive. That's why Alu took that second peek like that. He just hides in the corner. They all run past him.
And we just saw Exist smile.
That never, yeah.
We saw Exist crack a smile.
We need to add an emotion to the emotion chart.
But what was incredible moments before that, the double peak was like synchronized swimming. They moved out instantaneously of one another, and there was no chance for Alu. Two great plays.
Well, what was a 10-round lead has been significantly reduced, and Fnatic, they're back on equaling against us. Another thing to consider, when you think about 10 rounds, yes, if they were all 10 rifle rounds, it'd be really hard for them to not win the game here, but because they got to eco every once in a while, it's not quite the same. And NIP, they're playing it smartly right now, especially now that they know they're up against pistols. They're grouped up, they're far back, no one is taking any chances.
Yeah, and you see Fnatic's awareness right there. So that smoke at the top of Banana, it bled a little bit deep into the what we call the carriage right there. What Fnatic knows is that smoke, when it's deep like that, a player can be on top of the carriage and basically have visibility over the smoke without the keys even being able to see them.
Olofmeister picks up the frag on the forest, but not before he'd done a lot of damage. Freiburg will pick up the mantle and finish off the job. A clean round for NIP.
And actually, I think that Molotov that Freiburg was standing right at the edge of highlights a problem. Well, it's not a problem, but it can be a huge downside. If you throw that Molotov and it lands a little bit further out and the guy can be in the corner, mentally speaking, you're going to be thinking that corner is clear. I don't have to look. And I think that's what happened to Fnatic. They weren't even looking Freiburg's way.
Yeah, and that is the problem with throwing Molotovs. If they miss, you generally think spots are clear that could not be clear, and that was the case right there. And look at NAP this round, they have 4 Molotovs.
Waiting for Fnatic. It's really, really hard to judge. You can almost tell that these two teams playing each other are playing differently than they would against almost any other team. There's a level, and it's a domestic matchup, so you have that feeling that they know a little bit more than we do about what each other are doing. They're sort of feeling each other out. There are so many strengths that we normally see that haven't been put into play yet, and it's probably because they already know that's going to get countered. The normal smokes towards A that we see, pit and truck and all that stuff, it's not really happening just yet.
No, not at all. And another example of like how countering works is that Exist round where he hit in the cuppy. Exist knows that Fnatic is a team that really enjoys wrapping and really peeking those angles over there. So when they kill someone like that, they're going to take those kills and they're going to run with them. And it's just a good example of top-level countering.
This might be one of those rounds that I was talking about earlier where you simply push a lot of people out of apartments. We'll see if Get Right can actually hold this. It is very, very tough, especially with an entry factor. But they won't stop. They're going to keep going here. Oh, Get Right, 2 bird alive! Crims and JW go down after his demise, and it's going to be a 3v3. Still a very tough retake on NIP's hands here, but it could be done.
Tough ask here for NIP to get back. Olofmeister sat deep in the site, waiting on them coming. As Alu continues to keep them pinned in the pit. First frag goes away at Fnatic. It's Pronax who gets it. As Forrest hits the deck. Freiburg now, next man to run the gauntlet. Alu continuing to offer help, but he was out of the game when Freiburg came in, and in the end will have to retreat, and that retake just wasn't as synchronized as NIP would have liked. Still frags on the board, but that was a great round for Fnatic, and it will take them to 7 match points.
Something on the bright side for NIP though that round is Alu did manage to take everyone out with him. So if NIP manages to get a clean round right here, they'll be looking at almost forcing Fnatic in a double eco type of scenario where they would get 3 rounds for 1.
a really good call that last round, I think, for Fnatic. And with the entry frag from JW, it works. I mean, it works so much better. The fact that Get Right got 2 made it look like it could have maybe been a close round, but imagine if only 1 or none had died to that Molotov. It would have been a 5v3 at the time the bomb went down, and there would have been nothing left for the rest of NIP to do, in fact. And they do have a buy going on here, but you're right, Toshbot. It's 7 rounds in a row that NIP have to claim.
This needs to be a perfect game from here on in, or Fnatic will be the first ones. And they've come into this in such great form. It would be fitting that a team who are so artistic and in such immaculate condition would be the ones to win. The second major, the elusive second major. Here we go.
Oh, here we have a smoke execute on the wrap side for Fnatic.
Look at this. Grenades raining in. Alu, he has to hit these first shots. Otherwise, it's going to get tricky. They'll close this distance on him very fast, and he'll only have a couple of chances to really do it. There it is. Picks up one. Almost a double shot then, and he keeps falling back. Exist will pick up Pronax. It's a strong start here for the NIP team, but Olofmeister will pick up Exist. It is not over yet. Get Right to take down Olofmeister. JW and Crim still fighting, still trying to see if they can close this game. And a nice flick from JW takes down Alu, but now it's all alone on Crims here. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and Crims, he can't get into the site. He's lost the round, and it will be 15-9 here. NIP to claim it. 1 down, but they're not there yet.
No, we are going to the wire.
There's a long way to go, but that was just really strong play right there from Ollie. You saw him get that 1 pick, and he threw a really good counter, actually, that I haven't seen many people throw. As he was running into the arch, he threw it towards the library, so that way, basically, it's traveling at such a distance that by the time the second guy peaks his angle at the wrap, he would get blind by that flash, and it would really slow down the rush a lot. It's just really strong play and positioning by Ollie right there.
Well, it's the Tech-9s again, and the 1 AK here on Crims. Fnatic not feeling so pressured that they want to go for a full eco and buy fully. They feel like it might be worth it to try and see if we can make this work. Forrest early on with the smoke here doesn't want to let anyone through, and at this point, Fnatic just waiting. They've cleared apartments, so they know they've got NIP pushed back, and the NIP setup for the last couple of rounds has been almost exactly the same.
Yeah, and something to note about why Fnatic decided to buy this round is they saved that AK, and no matter what, they would have had to save 2 rounds. If they buy whatever they can this round and just manage to get a plant in, which is very easy at the B-bomb site to just get a plant at very least, they can buy the next round. So it would be like the same thing as double saving.
40 seconds on the clock as the play commences. Forrest picks off Pronax, return the favor from Flusher and Crims, and now Fnatic are but 3 frags away from the title. It's JW who'll bring that number down to 2, and here we go. Fnatic are on the verge. Alu says no, and there are not much health left across those Fnatic players either. 2 on 2 after plant. Alu and Get Right versus Olofmeister alone now, and it will be Get Right that pulls NIP back from the brink and delivers the defuse.
That was a fantastic retake by Alu and Get Right. That round looked completely lost, and Alu just stormed in through construction, got 2 really quick kills, picked up a 3rd op frag. Just, wow. That was totally an individual round by Alu. Look at him up there again, 26-17, dominating the scoreboard.
I can't believe it. That really was incredible. And Fnatic back to ecoing. The bomb plant's going to give them a little bit more time, so they might put in an extra buy round somewhere because of these bomb plants here. And the viewer levels are over 900,000. It's incredible. I can't believe this is happening. Molotovs all around for NIP. And look again, aggressive apartments here from Fnatic, clearing it. They're not going to find anyone, but Get Right this time will not get overrun. He's going to get the 1 kill. Alu's Hell Party will go down eventually, and now they got to regroup here. NIP, they have the advantage. They could go for a full retake. They shouldn't fight this alone, even though Exist is trapped in a corner and Alu's very low on health. Fnatic trying to see if they can finish it right now. Forrest will go down. Olofmeister with the kill. It's JW and Olof left, and the bomb, it is still not planted yet. They're trying to see if they can do it, but it's in the pit waiting, and this is giving NIP so much time.
It is Exist who'll be next up. NIP happy to play the waiting game and show only when they need to. But look at the health count across those NIP players. It's Freiburg that'll have to do most of this heavy lifting. Down goes the bomb. NIP will show themselves now as they edge in man by man. Olofmeister pops in. Freiburg gets himself the frag. Olofmeister returns the favor. Allo goes down, but it just pulls it back. And round after round, we're going all the way to the wire and back. And this deficit will be down to just 4.
Sean, talk to us for a moment about that position from Olofmeister.
Yeah, so when Olaf got in that spot, I looked over at Anders with like a sad look in my face because I thought the tournament was over at that point. But NIP continues with these amazing retakes. That play by Olaf that round was just fantastic. He had the bomb in the pit. The guy knew he had the bomb in the pit. Threw the bomb to the other guy. Snuck in the graveyard without even a smoke anywhere.
Can we talk about the fact that Allo has an incredible amount of kills here on this team? He's top fragging for NIP right now. He's done exactly what he did in the previous map. It's almost unreal that he should have such a high impact having just been picked up on the team. 15 and 11.
The last 2 players in that round had a combined health of 13.
Yeah, these Tech 9 rounds by Fnatic are extremely successful. Maybe they'll be able to duplicate that with like another aggressive type 5, 4-man strat right here with AKs. Let's see what their mentality is going into this round.
Just based off the position right here with Flusher, I think it is holding all the way over at B. No, so it's Olofmeister. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Leaving Olofmeister and everyone else going, definitely going to be a B push. I'm surprised Olof isn't further up in the apartments, which he usually would be. But still, very clear indication that this is going to end up being a B hit. And this is going to be tough. If they lose without getting a bunch in here, retakes aren't easy. Flashbangs are out. Another Molotov rains in. And look at the time here. 30 seconds and Fnatic are still waiting. They could end up losing a round like this simply because they run out of time to get the bomb down.
Here comes the play. Fnatic make their move as they charge in towards the B-bomb site. There are 3 ninjas waiting for them. The first frag is from Forest. JW out for the count. Freiburg follows up with number 2, but they've lost Forest in that site. Freiburg will go in, get the next frag. Mr. B-bomb site is downed by Pronax. Get right, making his way over there. And there are just 3 seconds left on this clock. And the ninjas have done enough to hold out and pick them off. And they will pull us back and not get that final kill after the count.
An absolute perfect illustration of what it means to have 5 smokes and 5 Molotovs and just play for time.
Yeah, that was perfect mid usage right there at the B-bomb site by NIP. Fnatic had no choice but to wait out those Molotovs. They had an amazing execute plan, and they just couldn't do it. They had to wait for everything to fade and then just try to aim battle everyone. They just couldn't do it.
Standing room only here at the Spodek Arena. As the crowd urges towards overtime. And this game just keeps on giving.
I don't think I've ever seen Pronax actually run out of ideas, and I don't think we're there yet, but you keep wondering what is the next trick gonna be. You wish we could be on the TeamSpeak listening, but you also kind of wish you could put a helmet on Pronax and hear what he's thinking, because at this rate, there's going to be so much going through his mind. What have we already run? What has already worked? And what have NIP already counted? All of these things have to be combined into the next plan. They just need that one round and that one opening.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to elect to go back to the B-bomb side again. And look at this, both B players, I believe, still have Molotovs in hand. No, Forrest actually does not. Okay. Nope, they can actually decide to fall off and go A now.
And might not be a bad choice here. 2 people on the bomb site, 25 seconds, a Molotov up there. It's great, holding off apartments. Get right with a big opening on. Olofmeister is charging into the site. Pronax will get him. Get right. Will get down JW. There's 16 seconds left, and Alu comes up from behind. The bomb is down, but Alu's got him trapped in the corner. He'll drop. The Finnish player is gone, and now it's a 2v2 retake for NIP to hold on to this, to not lose the grand finals. Pronax and Crims, they just need 2 kills here, and they will win it. For the second time, Pronax with 1. Freiburg, oh my god! He's freezed and he gets both kills! And the grand final continues, 15-13.
Oh my god, I'm at a loss for words right now. These NIP retakes, they're giving me a heart attack. This is some of the most crazy Counter-Strike I've ever seen out of NIP. Just constantly retaking these bomb sites in almost impossible situations.
I have been casting major events for 10 years. My heart rate has never been this high.
We just saw the most perfect example possible of the mental difference between Alu and everyone else on that team. Get Right stood up and screamed his lungs out, and Alu turned around and did just a quick fist bump and back to play. He is so hyper-focused. He is an absolute champion.
2 rounds the difference, but remember, for all of these close rounds, for all of these retakes, it's just one slip, and the championship is Fnatic's. They have been magnificent in this tournament, Fnatic, and they have been pushed by a worthy opponent.
Overwhelming favorites is definitely not an overstatement at this point. Fnatic team, hardworking in every respect, and probably the scariest, or definitely the scariest constellation of talent currently in the global offensive scene.
Sean, you've got 1 round to make the play. What's it going to be?
If I were Fnatic, I would honestly try to wait out a bunch of NIP's nades and really do a hit around probably 35 seconds, but fake it to the other bomb site. Like try to do one of those massive B hits that they just did with maybe 3 guys, but have someone lurk all the way to the end of halls, because it looks like Get Right's allowing Olaf to lurk to the end of halls like this. So Olaf can take that position, and 3 guys can fake to be bomb site, and 1 guy can come back towards mid. I would do something like that.
The A push is alive. It's Exist who'll get the first frag to thwart Flusher. Second from Get Right. And if he looks for number 3, he will deliver with the help of Exist. On the other hand, they've lost Alu to the hands of JW. Get Right going for the next, but Olafmeister with a headshot picks him off. And this is the moment. Big games require big players as that bomb goes down and NIP attempt yet another retake.
2v3. Fnatic, they're getting these bomb plants in. They just need 1 more round and they'll be able to do it. Olafmeister again hiding in the same spot up by Graveyard, and Crims, well, he's in the side. Oh, there it is. Now it's on Exist 1v2 here. Fnatic, they could be the second or the first team to win a second championship here in Global Offensive, and Olafmeister's playing it so safely. They know that they have it. Exist gets 1 and he's back on it. He's got the kid. He's holding it down. I'm not sure there's enough time.
They do it! Ladies and gentlemen, your ESL 1 Katowice champions are Fnatic!